Hi, I'm Thomas Armstrong, and I want to talk with you about a book that I just wrote called Childless. It's my first novel and my 20th book in all. I've written a variety of books on children and child development, and this one comes with the title of Childless. It's still about children and child development, but I treat it in the form of a story, a novel-length story. It's a story about a childless child psychologist who tries to foil a U.S. government plot to remove childhood from the human genome. What the government is trying to do is create a situation where a person will be born, be there for a few seconds on the delivery table, and then pop into an adult, therefore eliminating virtually all of childhood. And I call these people in the book popcorn adults. And a key aspect of this book is the genetics involved, the genetic engineering that goes into it. And so I want to explain some of the mechanisms that I use to talk about the genetic engineering. Essentially, a lot of my plot, especially toward the second half of the book, depends upon human endogenous retroviruses. That's sometimes abbreviated as HERV or HERV. And in any case, what the government is doing is trying to resurrect a HERV within our human genome. HERVs are retroviruses that we caught essentially thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of years ago. One of our ancestors, Homo erectus or whoever it is, got sick. Only instead of dying or getting well, the human endogenous retrovirus wiggled its way into the man's sperm cell. And when the man procreated, that sperm cell, along with the HERV, was transmitted to his progeny. And since it was in the germ cells, the sperm cells or the ova cells, it was able to replicate itself over and over and over again, such that it is still in our genome today. And we have hundreds, if not more, of these human endogenous retroviruses. And although at one time they functioned in different ways, through the course of time and gene mutations, they essentially went dormant. And now the idea in my book is that scientists are trying to resurrect one of our dormant retroviruses in this way. It's a little bit like Jurassic Park, if you want to think about it that way, where they find the DNA in the amber of an archaeological dig, and they use that DNA to put together dinosaurs. Only in this case, the DNA is in our genome, and it contains instructions for speeding up human development, essentially. There are actually 8,000, at least 8,000 aging genes in our genome. And this particular retrovirus has the function of being able to speed up development, which is actually not that strange. In fact, if you look back at earlier stages of evolution, there was a tendency as we go back for maturation to occur more quickly. You know, a lot of animals, when they pop out of the womb, they're for the most part ready to deal with the issues of whatever they have to deal with. Humans are what are called neotenous individuals. Neoteny is a concept that means holding youth. And I'll talk about neoteny in another video with respect to this novel, because I do also use the term neoteny a lot and develop that aspect of the plot. But at any rate, the idea is that scientists on the one hand, working for the government, are trying to resurrect a human endogenous retrovirus that will speed up human development, so there'll be no childhood left. But I also have another aspect of the plot where on the other side, there's a character in my book who's a Nobel Prize-winning geneticist with schizophrenia. And he's trying to do the opposite. He's trying to resurrect a human endogenous retrovirus that actually retards aging. so that childhood lasts longer, so that essentially childhood can last into old age. And so there's really going on in my book a battle between these two endogenous retroviruses. And in the novel, the mechanism I use for for triggering this resurrection is putting the retrovirus, billions of copies of it, into the water supply. And the government wants to start out right away with one major push in their what they call Project Enduring Adulthood. And their plan is to go up to Lake Itasca in northern Minnesota. And they choose Lake Itasca because that's the source of the Mississippi River. And they believe by putting it into the source waters, they can get maximum absorption into like 45% of the nation's water table. So there's a showdown between the two, uh, the government on the one side and the Nobel Prize winning geneticist on the other side. It's like a struggle between good and evil, essentially. And who will win out? That's the big question. And of course, I'm not going to tell you that. You have to read the novel. But at any rate, that's a little bit about the genetic engineering basis of what I talk about in the novel. There's so much else. And in future videos, I'm going to raise some other issues that interpenetrate the plot of Childless. Anyway, I hope that you buy it. It's available on Amazon. It's available as a paperback, as you see, also as an ebook for your Kindle, your phone, or your tablet. And it's also just yesterday, I think, became available in hardback. So go online to Amazon, type in Thomas Armstrong Childless, and get yourself a copy in the next day or two. And let me know how you do with it, what you think of the book. And I'd love to hear from you. If you want to write a review of the book for Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Goodreads, that would be even better. So thanks very much, and I'll look forward to talking with you in a future video. Bye-bye.